Welcome back, everybody, and welcome back to the Blitz. I'm Andrew Schnitker, and the final week of the regular season is upon us, so we're talking playoff scenarios, positions, and seeds throughout tonight's show. And we're starting tonight at the top of all Georgia high school football, 6A Region 1, between Colquitt and Valdosta. Somebody's making the playoffs. Let's find out who in our Jeannie K. Tupper Game of the Week. So Coach Robbie Pruitt and the Trojans needing a convincing win against Valdosta to keep their playoff hopes alive tonight. With a Wildcat win, of course, Valdosta clinches the 3 seed. And over at Jardine Stadium tonight, if you're a Coffee fan, you may want to close your eyes or just ignore this last little bit. Now, first off, scoreless game here. Tawan Smith going all the way for the touchdown for Valdosta, giving Valdosta a 7-0 lead, and they were just getting fired up. This is Nelson Herring in for another score, so 14-0 right off the bat. And look at here again, Valdosta with the ball against Shelby Wilkes back to pass. Yardley Payne underneath it, and just for right outside of the goal line, and then right here we're going to get in from Malcolm Joseph, the star running back for Valdosta, gets around the edge and for the touchdown, so it's up 21-0. Now more trouble for Coffee coming a little bit later on. This is Tamarian Simmons fumbling the ball, and Valdosta striking again. Malcolm Joseph in for another score, making it 28-0. It was 34-0 at the half. And Valdosta just keeps piling it on from there. Final score from Jardine Stadium, 44-8. Well, the Colquitt County Packers were facing region champion Camden County tonight, and usually there would be more attention around a Colquitt-Camden type meeting. But tonight is all about the Packers making sure they have a spot in the playoffs. Camden doesn't have to worry about that, of course, already locking up the #1 seed in the region. So over at MacThorpe Field tonight, Colquitt County, of course, beat Camden County last year. Second half here, Camden up 6-0. And this is J.J. Green, UGA, soon to be, fumbles the ball, and Colquitt County recovers there. So Wildcat D not shutting down or not stopping there, harassing Cole Seagraves. The Packers were forced to punt. So this is on a Wildcats 4th down. Pack stopped Bryce Ramsey, another Georgia commit, and still 6-0. Back and forth we go. Another fumble. Cole Seagraves close to the goal line, can't get it in. Camden County recovers there. This was really just a show of fumbles all night. Now UGA bound J.J. Green showing off some of that speed here, getting down the right sideline for about a 25-yard run, but then Ramsey can't avoid it. Pack rush, and he fumbles the ball back to the Packers. Get this one, Colquitt County, after all that back and forth, they end up getting this win by the final score of 13-12. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those region standings. Actually, we'll go back to that a little bit later on. Safely in the playoffs, the Lee County Trojans know their playoff drive will begin on the road, but what Atlanta suburb will the Trojans be heading to next? This is, well, they're going to start in the 4 seed after Bainbridge here going on a huge run. Damian Bowie, 80-yard touchdown run, 42-7 Bainbridge leading at this point. So Lee County trying to respond. This is Stephen Collier, the quarterback, hitting Devontae C, a 10-yard pickup. That would be good for a first down, but they're going to need a lot more first downs to get back in this game. Lee County gets it back going into the half. Stephen Collier to J.Q. Quimbley, 15-yard touchdown pass there, making it 42-14 Bainbridge leading at the half. Although this one really just getting started. Lee County actually ties this game at 42 all, and then Bainbridge ends up winning it 49-14. So now we're going back to the 6A playoffs, looking at those region standings. Now these are just hypotheticals for who they will play. Lowndes will be the 2 seed. Camden County will be the 1 seed, probably facing Hillgrove in that region. And as for the 3 seed and the 4 seed, Valdosta gets that 3 seed. Colquitt County ends up taking that 4 seed. Well, in a single A tonight, Seminole County hoping to avoid any sort of playoff confusion by winning the region against Mitchell with the new single A playoff rankings. All region winners make the playoffs, but that leaves Mitchell County out at the current time. So we're going to opening kickoff. Kavoris Pollard, great return here, but the Eagles can't take advantage of it with still a scoreless game. So a little bit later on, Indians striking quick. Javon Wiggins, a long score for the touchdown, 7-0 with the extra point. Seminole looking for that region title. But the Eagles come marching right back down. Ja'Cory Belvin pushes his way into the end zone. Extra point no good, however. So it's 7-6, Seminole County with the lead. Now, Indians going right back to it. Jakari Martin finds Wiggins for the touchdown. Extra point good on this one. So 14-6 at this point, and currently Mitchell County is trailing 27-14. All right, well, let's go back to the 5A playoffs now. Bainbridge, with that win, gets the 3 seed, while Lee County gets the 4 seed. They will have to take on the region champion out of Region 4 5A. That will be Whitewater. And as for the 1 and 2 seed, a big game with TCC and Harris County. Harris County upsets the Yellow Jackets in Thomasville. So Harris County, the number 1 seed. Thomas County Central will still be hosting a playoff game, but they will be the 2 seed. All right, and coming up next on the Blitz, Monroe and Worth County are looking to solve the Quad A playoff puzzle. Find out who's playing another week of football next on the Blitz. And welcome back. Well, the Monroe Tornadoes don't have time for that trap game tonight, possibly still hurting from their lost region title aspirations. The Tornadoes still need to clinch the 3 seed in Quad A Region 1. So fighting for their playoff lives, they were facing Worth County. They weren't going to give up easily. The Rams need to win to move on to next week and perhaps even get the 3 seed with a win over Monroe. Now we're starting the second quarter here. Scoreless game. Monroe's Charles Stafford finds Devontavius Campbell. Yeah, that'll work. He'll get in for the touchdown, a 7-0 lead. So still second quarter, Worth County trying to respond and trying the option with their freshman stellar running back, Zytavius Anderson. He can't hold on to it. Monroe gets a gift right there, recovering that one. So the Worth County defense, they had to hold up here, had to have Anderson's back, and they come up big. Forced Monroe to go 3 and out on that one. So still 7-0 second quarter. Later in the second, facing a 3rd and 9, Campbell here's it out, finding Willie Jones for the first down. It'll be a long run down to about the 5-yard line for Monroe. And then a little bit later on, Charles Stafford is going to be able to keep it himself in for the touchdown. Point after is no good, so right then it was 13-0. Monroe dominated most of this game. Worth County makes a little bit of a game of it, but Monroe does win this, clinching the 3 seed 31-21. So with the outcome at Hugh Mills Stadium, America's Sumter's playoff chances still alive. They just needed to get a win tonight. Now, first off, this is the 1962 America's Sumter State football team. They were honoring that team tonight over at Finkley Robinson Field. Now, second quarter here, 7-6. America's on top. Crisp County trying to work in a 2-minute offense. First off, snuff that one out. Then a little bit later, Crisp County looking like they have some life. This is a nice run here, but they can't bust through. And at the half, we go at 7-6. America's with the lead. So right off the bat, though, America's defense punching it in. They get a fumble here. Jamie White fumbles that one. America's recovers in Crisp County territory, looking to add a little bit more cushion to that lead. But Crisp County responds with the defense after Jonathan Thomas not working on the Wildcat. And then a little bit later, Crisp County scores a touchdown to make it 12-7. They think they added safety after that, 14-7. And guess what? Crisp County upsets America's Sumter tonight. So that's a heartbreaking loss for America's Sumter as they lose 14-7. For more 4A action, the Cairo Surfmakers can cruise in their final game tonight. They'll be the number 1 seed no matter the outcome tonight against Doherty. Trojans feeling good after winning last week, but that's not going to feel very good. Madarius McCorder, 10-yard pickup. Nice hit, though, as the drive stalls. So Cairo with the ball, and the handoff's going to Paul Davis. It's going to be a 15-yarder for another Cairo first down. And then a little bit later on in this drive, the quarterback, Donald Thomas, he's a big boy. He's going to do it himself. Oh, he's going to pass it to Dontre Anderson there. Touchdown for Cairo, 7-0 at this point. Now, a few touchdowns back and forth, of course. Cairo does end up winning by a total of 34 points. They win this one by the final score of 56-22. So let's take a look at those region playoffs for 4A. Cairo, of course, having that number 1 seed, will likely face Riverdale in the first round. Westover, first home game in their history. They will face a rematch with Jonesboro as long as that all works out up in Atlanta. As for the 3 seeds and the 4 seeds, Worth County, a strong run at the end, gets that 4 seed. Monroe will have to go on the road for another season as they will be the 3 seed. Well, coming up, the AA playoff picture finds its form. Which team earned that 3 seed between Cook and Early County? We'll talk about it all next when the Blitz continues. Welcome back. Well, more teams were jostling for playoff position in AA tonight. Cook and Early County both set for more football next week, but they too are deciding the 3rd and 4th seeds with a head-to-head contest over in Blakely. And they're going from Standifer Stadium tonight. First quarter, no score on senior night for the Bobcats. Cook County starting fast. That usually doesn't happen for Cook for Early County really here as they Chris Lee catches this one, but then Cook ends up tackling him, fumbles the ball. Jeremy Walden recovers that one, picked up by Devontae Joyner for a first down at the Bobcat 12-yard line. So then here's Ross Pickle. He flicks the ball to Grant Wilson on the option, runs the ball 4 yards into the end zone for an early Hornet touchdown, 7-0. After an offsides call, Early County, the Hornet kicker, the ball is put between the posts. Cook County kicks the extra point, so 7-0 with 10:42 left in the quarter. Now, Ja'Cory Taylor, the quarterback for the Bobcats, hits Ladonis Bryant, but he fumbles as well. So Hunter Davis for Cook recovers that one. They're in business again at the 26-yard line. And here's Ross Pickle sneaking the ball up the field for 7 yards before being tackled by a Bobcat defender for a 2nd and 3. Now, this game went back and forth like you would expect for a playoff seeding type of game. Cook had the lead at 22-20 late in this game, but Early County scores a last-second touchdown to get the win. Final score out there, 27-22. So let's take a look at those AA standings. Brooks County, that one's not decided yet between Taylor County or Macon County. They will face one of those two teams. Of course, Fitzgerald off this week will face Northeast. As for the 3 and the 4 seeds, we just talked about those. Early County will play Blakely County, while Cook, who's been great as a 4 seed in the past, they will face Lamar County. Well, in the old single-A playoff format, tonight's contest between RandolphClay and Terrell County would have been more than just pride. It would have been for a playoff spot. But unfortunately, neither team has enough points in the new power rating format, so this one's just for a good old rivalry showdown. The Green Wave and the Red Devils closing out the regular seasons tonight, getting really geared up for basketball season. I gotta imagine both those teams ready for a strong run in basketball as well. So starting in the first quarter, no score, RandolphClay 3rd and 14, Gary McCray with the carry. Terrell's Anthony Williams with the tackle. That would force the Red Devils to punt. So Terrell County with the ball, and they were performing well with the ball tonight. Fumble, though, here recovered by Randolph's Tavarius Williams, stopped by Tristan Moon. So still first quarter, no score for Randolph. Terrell able to stop them on a big 4th and 2, so taking over the ball at the 2-yard line. I'm not sure why you're going for it on your own 2-yard line. So 2nd and 5 for Terrell. Ja'Carrius Scott hands off to DeMarquise Carter. He runs in for the first down. A little bit later on now for Terrell, Ja'Carrius Scott running down the right side. You're going to watch this beautiful play develop as he barely touched. Goes all the way in. Ooh, nice spin move there as well. He goes in for the touchdown and a 8-0 lead after Terrell County gets the 2-point conversion. And the Green Wave, they end their season. They may not make it to the playoffs, but they end their season the right way. They blank RandolphClay. Final score tonight from Dawson, 36-0. All right, let's check out our Advantage Vinyl Siding and Roofing plays of the week, and we're going back to Valdosta and Coffee. This is Shelby Wilkes. Nice pass to Brad Felkel, and he's going to go a long way with that one for another Valdosta touchdown. I'm sorry to keep burying you guys, Coffee, as Valdosta rolls into the playoffs. Now, this is Bainbridge. First touchdown of the game, Damian Bowie going 80 yards for the score, barely touched, and Bainbridge has to survive against Lee County after being up 42-14, but they're able to do it. Bainbridge wins 49-14. Now remember, to vote for your favorite play, you got to get connected to mysouthwestga.com/theblitz. Well, coming up, the region title already clinched for Deerfield Windsor. They're using this week for playoff preparation. All that plus our fan of the week coming up next on the Blitz. And welcome back. Well, in the GISA, Deerfield Windsor wrapped up its regular season with a rivalry game. Facing Southland Academy, the Knights have already clinched the region and home field advantage. So it's fair to say, though, not a lot of steam heading into this matchup over in Americus. Southland started hot in the season, but have been officially eliminated from the playoffs going into tonight's game. But, of course, there's always pride there. The Knights trying to finish unbeaten in the region with a victory over the Golden Raiders. Now starting off hot, Margison to Rich Falah here. Check out the nice jump there by Falah. Gets down to about the 5-yard line of a scoreless game, and then a few plays later, here's Karan McLean, the star running back, does a few jukes there in for the touchdown, and Deerfield leading just like that, 7-0. Southland, though, getting a good drive going here. They're a lot about ball control. This is Andrew Alexander getting the first down for Southland, but they go for it on 4th and unable to make it. So, of course, Deerfield's going to capitalize on that one. Karan McLean in for another score, and Deerfield continues to pile on throughout this game. 14 points throughout 13 minutes of this game, and they win this one by the final score of 41-13. All right, now it's time for the Albany Technical College Fan of the Week. And for the final week of the regular season, we're not going to a football fan. I think we're going to a band fan. This is fans of Early County, and yes, he's conducting the band across. He does a great job there conducting as some of his friends watch on as he continues to conduct the band. And also, good congratulations to Early County as well as they win this one by the final score of 27-22. Well, a little bit more to get to on the Blitz night. Obviously, wasn't football, but the Albany State volleyball team accomplished an incredible feat in the SIAC tournament. Now, on Wednesday, Lady Rams lost in their first match of the tourney, and they faced a long climb back to the conference title. But from that loss on, ASU ran through some kind of gauntlet. 2 days, 6 matches. They get all the way to the championship round, and they don't win. Colquitt beats them in the final game of the day. They lose that one 3-1. Still a great season as Albany State went 16-0 in that regular season. Colquitt just a little bit better, probably a little bit more energized as well. Albany State falls 3-1. Well, that's going to do it for another week of the Blitz. It's been a great regular season, but we'll see you back here for round 1 of the playoffs. Next week, same time, same place. For all involved in this one, thanks for watching, and have a great weekend of football.